This video is going to help you understand unit analysis. That's what we call converting a measurement from one unit into another. It lets us answer questions like, how many days are in 500 years? Unit analysis is important in science because in science numbers are actually measurements. We measure things like length, time, mass, speed, and many more. All numbers in science, when you write them down, must have units at all times. In science, if I ask you a question like, how many feet are in 1,000 inches, it's not enough just to do the work on your calculator. You're going to be expected to show how you got your answer. And there's one and only one way to show this work in science. I'm going to work through this problem explaining what I'm doing. Then on the next slide, you're going to have a chance to try it on your own. Then we'll talk about the rules. So, how many feet are in 1,000 inches? The first step in showing my work to solve this problem is to write down the number I'm given in the problem. So my starting value is 1,000 inches. Notice how I wrote the number 1,000 and the unit. The next step in converting is always going to be a multiplication sign. You're never going to write a division sign. Even if on your calculator later you use the division key, when you show your work, always, you're going to write the multiplication sign. Then I have to draw a fraction line. The rule is you multiply by a fraction. The fraction that we're going to use has to have the units we're trying to get rid of, that's inches, and the unit that we're trying to end up with, that's feet. I put the inches on the bottom of the fraction so that I can cancel out inches and inches. Then, when I'm getting an answer, I know the unit has to be feet because that's the unit that didn't cancel out. The numbers that go in my fraction, in this case, are 1 and 12, because I know off the top of my head that 1 foot equals 12 inches. There are a lot of conversion factors, conversion fractions that you're going to need to know, and some that are posted on the wall in the classroom. So now I have everything except for the answer. To get the answer, I take my 1,000 and I multiply on my calculator by 1, or you could just do that in your head, and then I divide by the number that's on the bottom. Multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. So I'm writing in my calculator 1,000 times 1 divided by 12. The answer my calculator gives me is 83.333333, but in this class we're always going to round to no more than the hundreds place. Now we're going to solve another problem. How many inches are in 1,000 feet? Pause the video, try to do the work on your own, and then restart the video and see if your work matches mine. Okay, we're going to start this problem by writing our starting value, 1,000 feet. That's the only number given in the problem, so that's where we have to start. Then I'm going to do times a fraction line. I know we always multiply by fractions. The unit that I'm trying to get rid of is going to go in the bottom of my fraction, and the unit that I'm trying to end up with is going to go in the top of my fraction. I still know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. I always want to make sure that the top and the bottom of my fraction are the same amount. 12 inches, 1 foot, they're the same, so I'm good. I make sure that the feet I have on the top cancel with the feet on the bottom, and then I get my calculator. 1,000 times 12 is equal to 12,000. But I can't forget to write a unit. The unit that's left over on the top is inches, and that's my answer. 1,000 feet is equal to 12,000 inches. So here are the rules you have to follow. This might be worth writing down in your notebook. All numbers need units. Always show your work. That's going to be the starting value times a fraction. Remember that the top and the bottom of the fraction must be equal to each other. And the unit of your starting value needs to be on the bottom of your fraction. Okay, finally, one more question. How many seconds are in 48 minutes? Pause the video, show all of your work, then hit play again to see if your work looks like mine. If that's what your work looks like, good job.